There you go, that's our rustic Sunday style chicken and sausage cacciatore. Absolutely fabulous. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a rustic Sunday style chicken and sausage cacciatore. Okay, I've got chicken thighs, bone in, skin on, and I've got Italian sausage. Peppers, onion, tomatoes in a tin, some herbs, spices, whatever. Let's get on and do it, come on. Right, before we get on to the chicken and the sausage, we want to slice up some onion, and we're slicing, not dicing. Okay, we want slices in here. So it is a nice steady one. You can slice thin or you can slice thick. It depends what you want to see in your rustic, repeat, rustic dish. Now this is one of those fantastic meals, and yes, it can be frozen, but I tell you, reheated, it's, oh man, it's delicious. Serve it with anything. Now I'm going to serve it with some toast, some nice toasted crusty bread. That's how I love it actually, but there you go. So there's our onion. You can use jarred cherry peppers. Now I can't get jarred cherry peppers. They're available in the US and what have you, and other countries. I can't get them, but I've got these little peppers as well as some capsicum bell peppers, and that's what we're using. Again, we are just going to slice. Now these will contain not very many seeds, but I don't want the seeds in there, so they're coming out. Now taking the seeds out is completely optional, but I don't want them in my teeth, so I'm just going to do that, look, with these peppers. Now these peppers obviously are optional, because I don't know if you can get these or not. You can make this whole dish just using capsicum, so don't have to worry about getting jarred cherry peppers. And we're on to our capsicums, our bell peppers. Again, we are going to slice this, but you know, it's entirely up to you. It's a rustic dish, do it how you want. But we're just going to do that, look. How easy is that? So we want to be bringing in our chicken thighs, and we want to salt and pepper. And then when we put them in the pan, we'll salt and pepper the other side. Okay, bring in a pan. Nice and steady in that pan, olive oil. Flame on. Chicken's going in there, skin side down, and we're going to brown over the chicken. In with your chicken. Nice colour on the chicken. Turn it over, it's about 5 or 6 minutes. Turn it over, colour on the other side, whip the chicken out, throw the sausages in. So a little bit of seasoning on this side, and that'll be ready for when we turn it over. Have we got any colour? That'll do. Come on, turn it over. Okay, when you've had a couple of minutes on that side, we'll have those out of there. Beautiful. Right, we want to be going in there with our sausage. Nice and gentle, cook your sausages. Okay, when you've got a bit of colour on your sausages, out they come. Now what you have to decide is that too much oil and fats for cooking? It is. Now we want to keep the fond in the bottom of there because that's going to come off into the dish, but we do not need all that oil. Okay, so we are going to pour a little bit of that off. So we've got a little bit left in there, look, okay? It's flame back on. In with your onion. Start the onion off first and then we're going to chuck in the pepper. This should lift this off the bottom. Okay. Oh, it's coming off now, look. Now you can decide whether you want to take that out completely or leave it in. Now you know me, I am a great believer in you do not leave all the rubbish in the pan. You know, that is there, look, is coming out. That is not what I want to be cooking with. Everybody has their own way, but you know, people say that's flavour, that's burnt. What is the point in putting a burnt flavour through your dish, you know? In there, your peppers. Give these a little minute and then we're going to chuck in the garlic. Some real colour there. Now for this dish, I'm going to list in the ingredients white wine and stock. I'm not using white wine at all today. I'm using stock. Why am I not using white wine? I don't want to open a bottle just for half a cup full of white wine to go in here. But it's up to you. If you want your cacciatore to have the wine in, you know, you put the wine in there. And what you've got to do with these peppers and onion is not overcook them, because this is going to be cooked with a lid on for about 30 minutes. So you don't overcook. Okay? Like a stir fry really. Don't overcook these. Clear yourself a space in there with your garlic. 30 seconds on garlic and stir it in. And it goes. Now if you're using white wine, you would be tipping the white wine in now. Okay? And you would let it cook off the alcohol for about 2 to 3 minutes. That would also clear anything that's left on the bottom of that pan. Okay, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, chili flakes. Chili flakes optional. If you don't want to use them, don't put them in. In there, oregano. Now if you don't have Italian seasoning, you could put dried rosemary in and dried thyme. I have got Italian seasoning here, so that's going in. Let's just give that a little stir in. That's going to go in there and start to rehydrate with that fluid we tipped in, which obviously would be white wine if you're using. Mine was chicken stock. That smells absolutely amazing. Right, tomatoes. I'm using a can of tomatoes. In with the juice. Chop up your tomatoes. If you're using chopped tomatoes, use them. In there. A little stir through. There's some beautiful colour in there, look. What we want to be doing is going in there with a tablespoon of tomato paste or tomato puree. It don't get much more rustic than this, does it? How easy is this? Come on, there's a lot of flavour there. Sugar is optional, but recommended. There's a lot of acidity going on with that tomato mix in there. That's going to balance it. Now you could also go in here with a little splash of balsamic if you wanted to add a little bit of a depth dimension in there. That is up to you. So we're bringing this up to a simmer in there with our chicken stock. What a fabulous, easy recipe. Come on. Okay, we're going to introduce our chicken back in there, and we're going to cut the sausages up and put those in. Now what you can do with the sausage, you can actually add it later if you so wish, but the chicken needs to go in now because it's going to broil in there if you like. It's going to actually cook in there, soften up nice and tender. We're going to put a lid on here. So you need to be chopping your sausages as big, as small as you like. So nice little chunks like that, look, they can go in there. You need to be turning this down to a simmer, and we're going to stick a lid on. Now what you need to be doing within that 30 minutes of simmering is just coming along, giving it a little nudge. Make sure nothing sticks on the bottom. Okay, job done. Get your lid on. 30 minutes. Okay, we've had some time there, look. Right, what we're going to do now is cook it for about 10 minutes with this lid off. Okay, it's time to be serving up this rustic dish. Just put a little bit of green on there. Just look at that. And there was some of that juice, come on. And for me, some hot buttered, fresh, crusty. There you go, that's our rustic Sunday style chicken and sausage cacciatore. Absolutely fabulous. There we go, our fantastic chicken and sausage cacciatore. Fabulous. Oh, that is outstanding. Look in there. Absolutely fantastic, perfectly cooked chicken thighs. Oh yeah. Wow. That is absolutely outstanding. Now my way is with fresh buttered toast, but that's my way. I love it. I love that fresh buttered bread, that toast sucking up those juices. Oh. Oh. You've got that tomato flavour in there with that little bit of Italian herbs, oregano. You've got the pepper flavour in there, the capsicum, and obviously you've got the juices from the sausage, from the chicken. Oh, it's fabulous. There you go, that's a nice steady one. That's our rustic Sunday style chicken and sausage cacciatore. Absolutely fantastic. Banging with flavour. Eat it with anything. I like it with the bread, like with the toast, as you know. Eat it with rice, pasta, eat whatever, mashed potatoes, anything. Easy one, share with your friends. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video.